Hello everyone, welcome to lockdown number 3. So like I said in the Google Classroom, I'm going to do chicken soup today, and I'm going to make pain rustique. I haven't done a lot yet. I've got the chicken thawing in the sink, and I've started just a bit of a stock, which I will show you here. There we go. So here's my kitchen. So I've got water and some concentrated chicken stock there. You can see I've got my chicken in water in the sink, and I just roasted some vegetables and combined them with a little bit of water. And actually, I used some dulse. Here's my kitchen. Here's my pots and pans. It's a dehydrator and a shelf, and there's my work table. All the stuff for sushi there. Lots of blenders and food processors and scales, etc. My knives and a toolbox and my dishes and recycle bins, whatever. There's a juicer and my coffee maker. That's it. Right, I'll hopefully edit that to make it look better. Otherwise you'll be all throwing up all over the place from motion sickness. Oh, I'm not frozen. Sorry, that was just a dad joke. All right, so I'll see you back in a few minutes, and I will start prep. So this is really kind of starting the broth for the soup. So the initial liquid has big chunks of onion, big chunks of carrot. I put a little bit of seaweed in for saltiness and a little bit of umami. And then you can use chicken pieces. I happen to have a whole chicken in the freezer, so I grabbed that. So I'm just going to hack it up into chunks and then throw it in the liquid and then cook it. And then once it's been cooked, I'll drain the liquid. And we've done this before in Chef Mac's class, for sure. I'm just going to hack it up into pieces. Not very nice pieces. They don't have to be nice. The meat's all going to cook. The bones are going to put their deliciousness into the broth. And so that's it. So I've got chicken pieces. Chicken. Piece of ice from the chicken. Chicken. Okay, so there's my chicken pieces. I'm just going to chuck this into the pot. Not chuck it. I will place it gently in the pot. And I'm going to cook them out. And then when the meat is done, I'll probably pull the meat off the bones and drain the stock. So that'll be the next step. Will be sort of draining everything out, letting the chicken cool a little bit, pulling the meat off the bones, and then I'll probably put all of that back together to let those bones cook some more in the water. And then I'll cut up whatever vegetables we're going to put in the soup, including broccoli, florets, peas, and carrots. Probably I think that would be nice for chicken soup. And we'll do the bread in a second. Okay, so I've turned the heat up on the chicken, and it's starting to bubble a little bit. I'm going to move it around. We want the chicken to be covered with water, so there's a bit of water in there from those roasted vegetables. And I'm going to just cheat a little bit with some concentrated stock. So you put another liter of water in there, and then the whole thing of concentrated stock. We'll probably just rinse that, get some extra flavor out of the container. Okay, so that's gonna give me a really good flavor. So I've got brackets all over my kitchen, and I have to move the iPad around if I want to get different views. None of them make me look very thin, unfortunately. So we'll see about that. All right, so I'm gonna cook this out and see you in a minute. Okay, so Pain de Rustique. I got my scale here, my bowl and the scale. Remember to push the tare button to make the scale go to 0. I'm gonna put the flour first. Flour is way over here. I should have moved this earlier, but I didn't. I apologize. Flour. Okay, so this only takes about 300 grams, so it takes a while. So the Pain de Rustique recipe, I'm just doing the 1 times. Oh, I got it on my phone here. And so this is, it's 1,125 grams of flour, 1,125 grams of flour. If anybody wants these converted to cups, I can do that. It's not quite as accurate, but it'll be close. 1,125, 35, 26, that's close enough. Okay, then we're gonna tare it off to 0 again. And we need only 4 grams of yeast for this recipe. It's a long ferment. 6 grams is gonna be fine. Oh, 4, it's 4. Tare. And this wants 20 grams of salt. Ooh, 32. So that's why you should be measuring things from, okay, so, and then it's 20 grams of salt. So it's not a bad idea to pinch that in just so you can have some control. And 20 grams, okay? Okay, so now we have our water we need. Here I've got hot water in a measuring cup. We need 900 grams of water. So I do weigh the water instead of using milliliters because I do find it is quite a bit more accurate. And this is very warm water, like warm enough that you might not want to take a bath in it even. Okay, 900 grams. I'm just going to move this scale out of the way for a second. So here we've got the flour, yeast, and salt. And we just want to whisk those together because we always want to protect the yeast from the salt. You don't want the salt to assault the yeast. Then the water goes on top. And we just mix these together. So this is a very easy bread recipe, Pain de Rustique. The only sort of thing I would say specifically to you, if you want to make this at home, because it's dead easy to make and you only need a couple of things. You don't even need a whisk, you can mix with your hands. You don't even need a spoon, you can mix with your hands. And this is it. That's all the mixing you want. Fold it together, and then you just let it ferment. And we fold it again, and fold it again, and fold it again. We do that every 30 minutes, or even every 45 minutes, whatever. Shape the loaves, which I'll show you, and bake them in a hot oven. So the only thing is that instant, active, dry yeast is the one that mixes with the flour, and doesn't need to be bloomed. The other thing that you need to remember is if you're going to buy flour to make bread, make sure you're buying flour that's completely untreated. So there should be nothing in it other than wheat. Amylase is fine as an ingredient. Niacin, riboflavin are fine. There's just B vitamins. But you don't want azodiazocarbonamide or sodium peroxide or bleach, because all of those things will show up in flour and your bread won't be quite the same, okay? Because the yeast has trouble growing in that stuff. All right, so my hair looks quite nice. Miss Collins has been cutting it. I might shave it though, we'll see. Anyway, so we'll come back to probably prepping veg for the soup. Like I said before, blah, blah, blah. Talk to you soon, bye. Okay, so we've got lots of nice stock here. Again, we don't want the onions and the carrots and things that we used to flavor the stock. We just want the liquid. So we strain out all that other stuff. We let it sit. Pull the fat off if we want. And then I'll let the meat cool. And I'll pull the meat off the bones. And probably put the bones back in this liquid. And then cook it some more to get that stock really, all that collagen elastin and chickeny goodness into the soup to make people feel better. Okay, talk to you soon. Okay, so here's our broth. It's been cooked a couple of times. We've got broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots in there. Those are all harder vegetables, so I'm going to put them in first and cook them for a little while. And then I will add the mushrooms, and then pretty much it'll be done. We'll just throw the chicken in to heat it up at the end, and that'll be our delicious soup. Okay, there's our soup. Lots of vegetables. All that chicken is in there. I've seasoned it with just salt, put a little bit of dark soy sauce in. I might add some black pepper. Oh, delicious. Okay, and here's our Pain de Rustique. It's been just sitting in a warm place for all day really. I made it this morning, and then it's just been sitting kind of near the stove where it's warm. The oven's been on for a little while at 450. So I've folded it a couple of times like we do at school, where I just sort of tuck it underneath itself, and so that the heat redistributes and the yeast redistributes. And I just pour it out onto the floured surface. Same thing as when we do it at school. I sort of arrange it in a bit of a shape. Now usually at school I'm cutting it this way because it's a huge batch, but because it's here, I'm just doing 2 smaller loaves. Okay, so I flip it over just like we do at school, lift it up like a dead cat, drop it on the pan, same thing here, boom. Okay, those are going to go in the oven. Alright, you'll see them when they're done. Okay, so there's a lovely loaf of Pain de Rustique, made at home, no proofers, no mixers, no nothing, crappy old oven from the 40s probably. Anyway, so you can do it at home. Soup's jarred up for delivery to my kids. Alright, see you next time on Cooking with Chef Howland.